guys, it is me, not your average fox, and today I have a interesting video about the worst RTX card and why it is still worth it. So today we are going to be talking about the RTX 3050 6GB. So on paper it's technically the weakest RTX card, even more weaker than the 2060, which was also 6GB VRAM. But in the real world, I think it still has some value. So who is this actually for, and is it worth getting the 3050 6GB over the 3060 12GB? So let's break it down, shall we? First off, the RTX 3050 6GB launched as NVIDIA's entry-level GPU, marketed for gamers who want ray tracing, DLSS, and modern features without the high price tag. But here's the thing. With only 6GB of VRAM and fewer CUDA cores than its bigger siblings, on paper it is the weakest RTX card, especially in 2025 where games are pushing higher textures and larger memory footprints. Looking strictly at the specs and raw power, it's not a particularly impressive card compared to the rest of the lineup. First off, we have lower CUDA cores in the RTX 30 series, 6GB of VRAM, weaker ray tracing performance, and just overall it's not the best that you can buy. Even in straight benchmarks it gets smoked by the RTX 3050 and even AMD's equivalents at similar price ranges. This is why some people call it the worst RTX card. Now, does it still have value? Well, yes, and here is the reason. Prices for this card can be really low right now, especially during like sales and used. Also, RTX features. Yes, well, it is the weakest of the lineup. It still has ray tracing and supports DLSS 2 and 3, which can boost performance significantly in supported titles. It is also great for 1080p esports or older AAA games and hits playable frame rates without breaking the bank. It also works well in like compact builds or like systems with limited power supply unit capacity. So who is the RTX 3050 for? Well, simply put, it's not for everyone, but it is great in certain games. So first off, it is best suited for budget gamers on a tight budget, 1080p esports titles like Fortnite, CS2 and Valorant, and upgrading older PCs without needing a bigger power supply, and people who want DLSS and ray tracing entry level. It is however not ideal for heavy AAA titles at high settings, future-proof VRAM heavy titles, and of course high refresh rate 1080p gaming. So let's talk about the elephant in the room, the RTX 3060 12GB. So why is the 3060 often a better choice? Well, simple. First of all, it has double the VRAM with 12GB of video memory compared to the 3060 6GB. It has high performance in most games and more future-proof as games keep demanding memory. Even if the 3060 costs a bit more, you are paying for actual performance and longevity. That 12 gigs of VRAM isn't just for benchmarks, it matters in open worlds, high texture packs, and better ray tracing performance. Simply put, the 3060 is just better bang for future gaming. So the pros and cons of both these cards. So first of all, the pros of getting a 3050 6GB is that it's affordable, especially used or discounted. You get RTX and DLSS support, it's good for 1080p esports or older titles, and lower power requirements. The cons, however, is it does only have 6 gigs of VRAM, it's limited for modern AAA titles at high settings, does have weaker ray tracing, and it's not very future-proof. For the 3060, of course, we have double the VRAM, stronger performance, and better for AAA and future games. The cons, however, to this is it is a higher price and it does have slightly higher power draw. So yes, the 3050 is technically the weakest RTX card on paper, but that doesn't mean that it's completely useless. It still has a spot in budget builds, esports rigs, and as an entry point into RTX features. Just be honest about what to expect, and if you want better performance and future proofing, the RTX 3060 12GB is just simply hard to beat. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment on which GPU are you rocking. That is the question of the day for this video. What GPU are you rocking right now, and what do you think about it, you know? Is it a good GPU, is it bad? Also, don't forget to check out the link down in the corner there if you want to support a brilliant creator and author. And overall, let's make America great again and stay alpha, guys. Love you.